Imagine a space with no dimensions, no matter, no time, and zero physical structure, just an absolute, suffocating void. Mathematics and physics struggle to map a clear path from this total static emptiness to a vibrating living cosmos without an external organizing force. According to the Genesis account, that organizing force is a voice. A single command breaks the eternal silence, triggering a deliberate sequence of construction. The command fractures the dark. Brilliant energy forcefully pushes back the shadows, carving out a distinct sector of space and establishing the first metric of order, day and night. This initial burst establishes a rhythm. It is a calculated first step in a sequential progression designed to sustain a much more complex system. With the lights on, the focus moves to a localized sphere of water. To make life possible here, the endless primordial oceans are separated, pushing a layer of moisture upward to establish an atmospheric gap. This gap forms the sky. It serves as a protective canopy that regulates the environment and makes the surface entirely biologically viable. Beneath that canopy, the global ocean is forced into boundaries. Tectonic plates violently thrust upward, piercing the roaring surf to lock massive continents into place. To stabilize these fresh land masses, a network of flora is immediately deployed. Grass, flowers, and deep-rooted trees erupt across the continents, anchoring the soil. Light defines the days. The atmosphere hosts the weather. The stable land anchors the plants. Each element serves as a prerequisite for the next. This architectural phase treats the environment as a constructed container, built in a rigid order where every new stage relies on the stability of the foundation laid before it. The container on Earth is ready, but it needs a cosmic clock. The camera pulls back to the macrocosmos as the sun, moon, and stars ignite to establish seasons and the measurement of time. This diagram models that massive expansion. Our local system sits centered, dwarfed by an exponentially growing web of galaxies expanding into the void. But the narrative aggressively pulls us back, collapsing the distance from the galactic edge, landing right back in Earth's oceans. Static architecture now yields to kinetic energy. Swarms of complex creatures flood the waters and sky, introducing the first layer of biological motion to the system. That energy accelerates onto dry land. From an eagle passing a breaching whale, the environment fills with apex predators, galloping herds, and complex mammalian life. Instantly, an interlocking symbiotic web begins to function. The lungs process the atmosphere, the herds consume the flora, and the predators balance the herds. The biological occupants are now successfully filling the container that was prepared during the first 3 days. The silent arrangement of rocks, water, and plants has transformed into a roaring, self-sustaining biological engine. Then the roaring stops. The kinetic frenzy of the wild halts, and a heavy silence falls over the ecosystem. The scale shifts from macrobiology to an extreme microscopic focus. Here, the entire creation process becomes physical. Raw, inert dust is gathered from the soil. We watch as ordinary terrestrial particles slowly coalesce into the precise, complex shape of a human being. The climax of the entire sequence relies on a final, intimate action, the direct impartation of breath required to elevate this terrestrial body into a conscious, living soul. The massive cosmic explosions and tectonic violence of the early days give way to this quiet, breath-to-breath impartation. It reveals a personal intent behind the mechanics of the universe. The completed ecosystem, the Garden of Eden, stands as the finished product of the 6-day progression. Crystal rivers cut through ancient trees, while the wild lives in peace. This is a sanctuary. The absolute chaos of the initial void has been entirely replaced by order and harmony. Every element we've tracked, the distant galaxies, the weather systems, and the animals, operates as a single unified system designed to support human consciousness. This purposeful organization of chaos suggests that human existence is not a byproduct of a cold, empty void, but the intentional, focal masterpiece of the entire design.